Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Stella Aquino, half French, half Filipina. Mabuhay! So today I'm going to go through 5 essential things you need to know before you fly to the Philippines for the first time. And this is all part of my free checklist that you can get at the end of this video. So if this is your first time going to the Philippines, I know it can be overwhelming. You've looked at resources online, watched so many YouTube videos, and asked ChatGPT, but you're unable to make a final decision. I'm going to walk you through 5 essential things you must do before you fly to the Philippines. And this will save you stress and problems at the immigration. At the end of the video, you can download my free checklist, which is part of my Philippine guide. So let's get into it. First is your passport and entry requirements. Your passport must be valid for 6 months beyond the planned start day. And you need to also check your visa situation. So many countries check if yours is in that list. They have 30 days free visa on arrival, so you don't need to do anything before flying to the Philippines. The first extension, once you're there, can actually be done online. Next is the e-travel form. This is mandatory for all visitors within 72 hours before your flight. So fill this online and use this link, which will also be in the checklist. And don't use other links, because if you type it in Google, you might find something else and you might have to pay. This is a scam. So use this and you'll be fine. So save your QR code, and then when you're there, you just have to show it to immigration and you're good to go. So before anything else, passport valid for 6 months, visa situation explained, and your e-travel is filled 72 hours before. Actually, you can even fill it when you arrive at the airport, but that's so much hassle. Second point, travel insurance, health prep, and medications. So as you know, travel insurance might be included with your credit card, so check that before you go. And for health insurance, it's up to you to decide what you're going to do, but just know that if something happens to you, you'll have to pay out of pocket. So I would advise to get a health insurance for the duration of your trip, or check with your credit card that might be included when you fly. So when you buy your plane ticket, just use that credit card and you should be fine. In terms of vaccines, nothing is mandatory, but maybe just make sure that you have things like tetanus, hepatitis A, tetanus, typhoid. But really don't worry too much about those vaccines, they're not mandatory. In terms of medications, most of the medicines are available here, but you might need a prescription. So maybe bring the medications that you need if you do take some. And then you can also bring sun protection and insect repellent, but these products are actually easily found here in any pharmacies and all the Watsons, for example. Third point, money prep. So I always recommend to use Wise and Revolut, because with these 2 apps and with these 2 cards, you can actually withdraw money. Now, when you withdraw money, you can withdraw 10,000 pesos and you will have to pay a 250 peso fee. That's just how it is here. You will have to pay 250 peso fee when you withdraw 10,000. So if you want to save that, you can change some money. The best exchange rate is actually at the Manila airport when you arrive, NAIA. So you can exchange some euros or pounds or whatever currency you can exchange there, just to have some cash. And then after that, you can actually use your Revolut or your Wise card in most of the shops. And then if you're going to travel, in some other islands or provinces and you need cash, then you can just withdraw that 10,000 and then keep on withdrawing if you need, and then also use the cash that you would have exchanged at the airport. So that's my advice. Some people use other apps like Remitly, where you can send money to yourself and pick up at any pawn shops or such establishments. I haven't tried it myself, but I do recommend using Revolut and Wise. Now, a lot of people have different opinions, but I can assure you that Wise is the card where the exchange rate is the best. So you might think, but this other card says there's no fee or no this, no that. Well, they're going to take a spread on the exchange. So Wise is the best, and make sure you have that before you go. And then 4 point, essential apps you need to download before you go or once you arrive there. But I would obviously recommend to have those apps ready on your phone, which are the Revolut and Wise apps, so that you can exchange money directly in the app, or you can just send your money to yourself. Actually, you don't even need to exchange the money there. You can do it when the rate is good. The Grab app is the app that you're going to need to order your Grabs. There's no Uber in the Philippines, so it's only Grab. And then if you're feeling adventurous, you can also use Angkas Maxim, which are the motorbikes, so the motor taxi. I rarely take those, but who knows, you might enjoy taking those. Your airline apps and then Google Maps, and then you can also download offline so that you can have those apps when the Maps app when you're offline. And then the final point is the SIM card and the emergency numbers. In terms of SIM card, you can get your SIM when you arrive. At the airport, they make it look as if you're having a good deal. Now, if you don't have time, then take your SIM card there with Globe or Smart. They're gonna have, you know, unlimited data or a lot of data for 1 month, 30 days. But the truth is, you can buy a SIM anywhere else, like in a mall or 7-Eleven, Globe or Smart, or the most common ones. And then you can just buy like the load, and actually there are offers for data plus unlimited text and calls, which are really, really affordable. So you can either buy your SIM at the airport if you don't have time to buy later on, or wait and buy your SIM later. Now, when you buy a SIM, remember you need to register the number, so they will ask you things like ID and address. So don't worry, you can just put the address of the hotel or the address of wherever you're staying, and that should be fine. And then in terms of the number, here the number for emergency is also 911. So 911 is the number for the emergencies, and then 117 for the police. So I'm going to recap all the 5 points here. This is everything you need to think of before going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And yeah, so is your passport valid? Your e-travel has to be done 72 hours before. Have you got your Wise or your Revolut cards, or both? Have you saved your emergency numbers? And the apps, are you going to download them before or after? And then your meds, and then you're ready to go. So if you want a full version of this checklist, it's actually available for free. So just find it in the link below and get your free guide right now. So this is your checklist before you go to the Philippines. And if you want a quick guide which will detail all these points a little bit more, if you want a deeper guide on travel tips and other points to look out for, like accommodation, budget, you can download my Philippine guide, which is available in both English and French. To go further, you can also book a one-to-one session with me for all your questions. That is more for if you want to relocate to the Philippines and you need help or advice and all the things that you need to look out for and think or prepare. I've done it myself. I've moved to the Philippines 2 years ago, and I would be happy to help you. So that's it. These are the 5 points that you need to look out for. If you want more detail, you can get the free checklist, which includes more points. You can get the guides, and you can book a consultancy session with me too. So you're ready to go to the Philippines for your first time now. So if you like this video, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye! Ingat!